LinkedIn is often described as a social network, but it has never worked quite like the platforms built around friends, entertainment, or viral culture. Its core promise is more specific: turn professional identity into something searchable, shareable, and connected. On LinkedIn, a person's work history, education, skills, recommendations, posts, and network become part of a public career profile. Job seekers use it to show their experience. Employers use it to find candidates. Entrepreneurs and executives use it to build authority. Recruiters and sales teams use it to reach people whose professional roles matter to them. That makes LinkedIn one of the most important examples of how social media moved beyond personal life and into the structure of work itself. The platform launched on May 5, 2003, created by Reid Hoffman and Eric Lai. At the time, the idea of putting a professional network online was not as obvious as it seems today. Social networking was still emerging, and most people treated career connections as something managed through email, business cards, conferences, and personal introductions. LinkedIn's early insight was that these connections could become a durable online graph. If users could invite coworkers, classmates, clients, and professional contacts, then the platform could map relationships that normally remained hidden. Venture capital firms, including Sequoia Capital, helped finance the company in the years after its launch, giving it the runway to build a network before the business model fully matured. LinkedIn's basic mechanism was simple but powerful. Users could invite other people to become connections, even if those people were not already members. This helped the platform grow through professional trust. A single invitation could bring in a colleague, who might then invite another colleague, and the network expanded outward through real-world relationships. Unlike anonymous forums or entertainment feeds, LinkedIn's value depended on people using their real identities and real work histories. That created a different social pressure. A profile was not just a place to speak, it became a signal of credibility. The more complete and connected a profile was, the more useful it became for hiring, business development, and professional visibility. By 2007, LinkedIn had reached 10 million users. That milestone was important because professional networks become more valuable as more industries, cities, and job roles are represented. A small professional platform may be useful for a narrow group, but a large one becomes infrastructure. As LinkedIn grew, it opened offices around the world, including in India, Australia, and Ireland. This global expansion reflected a key part of the company's identity. LinkedIn was not only an American employment website. It became a global directory of professional people, companies, and career opportunities. As work became more international and remote collaboration increased, that global professional map became even more valuable. At first, many users treated LinkedIn as a digital resume and job search tool. Job seekers could post their CV-style profiles, while employers could post job listings. But the platform gradually expanded beyond recruiting. It introduced ways to organize offline events, create and join groups, publish articles, and share photos and videos. These features transformed LinkedIn from a static directory into an active professional media platform. A user was no longer just listing where they had worked, they could comment on industry trends, explain their expertise, build a public voice, and stay visible to peers. For entrepreneurs and business leaders, LinkedIn became a stage for authority building, not just a database for employment. This shift matters because LinkedIn helped change what professional reputation looks like online. In the past, reputation was built through formal credentials, private references, in-person networking, and performance inside organizations. LinkedIn made parts of that reputation visible to a much wider audience. Endorsements, recommendations, posts, followers, job titles, and connections became signals that others could quickly scan. For recruiters, this meant talent discovery could be faster. For workers, it meant opportunity could come from outside their immediate workplace. But it also meant professionals were encouraged to maintain a public career persona. The platform blurred the line between having a career and continuously marketing that career. LinkedIn's business model developed around the professional data its users provided. From 2015 onward, most of the company's revenue came from selling access to information about members to recruiters and sales professionals. This is the core trade-off of LinkedIn: users create profiles to become discoverable, and businesses pay for tools that make discovery more targeted. Recruiters want to search by skills, experience, location, education, and job history. Sales teams want to identify decision-makers inside companies. LinkedIn's value comes from being both a social network and a structured professional database. The more accurate and current its member data becomes, the more valuable its paid tools become. Advertising also became a major part of LinkedIn's platform strategy. The company introduced LinkedIn Ads, allowing businesses to advertise directly inside a professional environment. This made LinkedIn especially attractive to business-to-business marketers. Since 2017, 94% of B2B marketers have used LinkedIn to distribute content. That statistic shows how central the platform became for companies trying to reach professionals rather than general consumers. On LinkedIn, advertisers can target audiences by industry, company size, job title, seniority, and professional interest. For a software company, consulting firm, recruiting agency, or business service provider, that kind of targeting is extremely valuable because the audience is already organized around work. By 2010, LinkedIn was ranked number 10 on Silicon Valley Insider's list of the most valuable startups. That ranking captured how investors increasingly understood the company's strategic position. LinkedIn was not competing simply to entertain users for longer periods of time. It was building a professional identity layer for the internet. If Facebook mapped friendships and Google organized information, LinkedIn mapped careers and organizations. That made it relevant to hiring, sales, advertising, publishing, and enterprise software. The platform's growth showed that professional networking was not a niche category. It could become a massive business because the economic stakes of jobs, hiring, and corporate relationships are so high. The biggest proof of LinkedIn's value came in December 2016, when Microsoft purchased the company for $26.2 billion. At the time, it was Microsoft's largest acquisition. The deal made sense because Microsoft already had deep relationships with businesses through products like Windows, Office, Outlook, and enterprise cloud services. LinkedIn added a professional social graph to that ecosystem. In simple terms, Microsoft gained access to a platform that understood who professionals were, where they worked, what roles they held, and how they connected. The acquisition reflected a broader trend in technology. The most valuable platforms are not just apps, but networks of identity, data, communication, and business behavior. But LinkedIn's rise has also brought serious criticism. Some complaints focus on design choices, such as the endorsement feature, which allowed users to endorse one another's skills with minimal effort. While endorsements could help profiles look more credible, critics argued that they sometimes encouraged shallow validation rather than meaningful proof of expertise. LinkedIn was also criticized for using members' email accounts in ways that led to spam-like invitations. These issues point to a recurring tension in growth-focused platforms. Features that increase engagement and network expansion can also frustrate users. If they feel manipulative, noisy, or disconnected from genuine professional value. Security has been another major challenge. In 2012, cryptographic hashes of approximately 6.4 million LinkedIn users were stolen and published online. Then, in 2016, 117 million LinkedIn usernames and passwords, likely connected to the earlier breach, were offered for sale. These incidents damaged trust because LinkedIn profiles are tied to real identities and professional reputations. A breach on a career platform can expose more than a casual username. It can connect work history, contacts, and login credentials to real people. The incidents became examples of why large social platforms must treat security as central infrastructure, not as a background technical detail. LinkedIn has also faced criticism over how it handles misinformation and disinformation, especially around the COVID-19 pandemic and the 2020 United States presidential election. This challenge is different from what entertainment-focused platforms face, but it is still serious. LinkedIn's professional setting can make posts appear more credible because they are attached to real names, job titles, and institutions. When inaccurate claims circulate in that environment, they may benefit from the appearance of expertise or authority. The platform therefore has to balance open professional discussion with the need to limit harmful falsehoods, a problem that has become increasingly difficult across the entire social media industry. LinkedIn's global reach has also made it vulnerable to political and regulatory pressure. The platform has faced bans or restrictions in multiple countries, including Russia in 2016, Kazakhstan in 2021, and China in 2023. These actions show that even a professional network is not separate from questions of data control, speech, censorship, and national regulation. As of 2026, LinkedIn has more than 1 billion registered members across over 200 countries and territories. Its story is the story of modern work moving online, opportunity, visibility, and connection at massive scale, but also new risks around privacy, security, platform power, and who controls professional identity in the digital age. If you found this helpful, please like this video and subscribe for more explainers.